my name is Morgan Soldan, and this is my reflection as well as my discussion about my eportfolio through my practicum experience. What you are looking at currently is my artifact folder. I organized my artifact folder into different folders so that way it was easily attainable and easy for you to look at different information within this eportfolio. The first thing I completed in my practicum experience, as well as early on throughout the program, was a program completion timeline of what I wanted this program to look like and what I wanted to learn as I went through the program. My goals video I also completed early in my program, and this was just an informational, a little bit about me, as well as where I want to be from now to 5 years, where I want to be from 5 to 10 years, and where I want to be in my professional experience 10 years and beyond. Where do I see myself as an educator in the future? Also, I created a leadership philosophy. As a leader, I fully believe that it is important to make democratic decisions for your school community. As an educational leader, I believe you should be focused on helping your school receive high educational and social emotional outcome for all students. And as a educational leader, I truly believe that making decisions should be a school wide or community should work together, together decision. And I think that relationships and bonds are a critical part of being a leader in order to have a well rounded school. And as an educational leader, I will use research, experience, and collaboration to make decisions for my community, school community. Here is my program of study. And this program of study basically just tells you when I took classes and how I got to this point in my practicum. Here is my resume. It tells you about me. It also tells you about my experience as an educator. Let's get into the activities portion, where I'm really proud of what I've learned. Um, the first thing I was asked to complete is an annotated bibliography. This is a paper, but it also had so many learning effects for me. Through this paper, I was able to answer different questions and find research to back up the answers to those questions. This helped me prepare for the licensure exam, but it also helped me learn different things and back up the things I did learn through the classes I took in this building leadership program. The activity log spreadsheet through the practicum, I was immersed in different leadership opportunities within my district, within the secondary level of my district, as well as the elementary level of my district. So the activity log sheet basically conforms those and makes sure I meet the standards of the education program, as well as I meet the time that I was required to take in district, elementary, and secondary buildings leadership experience. The activity component tracker it helped me understand if I was getting a well-rounded experience through a district, elementary, and secondary. It also helped me describe the different standards and where I saw those in my hands-on experience as I went through the program. So let's talk a little bit about that. Through this program, I gained so much hands on experience that I never would have had without it. And I think that is something that this program really helped me understand. So at the district level, there were 5 activities I completed. The first one was discussing with building leaders as well as district staff how our board policies as well as um, our USD 305 policies help educators model ethical behavior, as well as not just educators, but also educational leaders model that ethical behavior. Then I talked with district staff as well about equitable access to resources. Those equitable access to resources really helped me understand, as a district as a whole, how are we providing resources to everyone, no matter social class, no matter race, no matter gender. And it really gave me a clear insight as a district what we are doing. At the district level, I also created a kind of just a informative document to help community members, to help new staff members understand our assessments and understand the acronyms of assessments, when they are to be completed, what the assessment does, how parents can see the assessment. So it really was a overall documentation, and that really helped our new teachers understand what assessments are doing for us as educators and community members. At the district level, I also discussed USD 305's special education disciplinary practices. I created a flowchart for those practices, and through that discussion, I gained a real insight as a future educational leader of how we discipline students who have special needs. And in my last artifact at the district level, I create I helped understand USD3's cultivation of collaborative and professional cultures. I discussed our district and um, how we create a professional environment that looks forward to growth. Um, at the elementary level, I am a kindergarten teacher. So the elementary level is really where I focused. I have 10 activities at the elementary level that really helped me understand as an elementary principal, which is where I look forward to in my future, hopefully. Um, it really helped me grow and understand what an elementary principal should look at. And it gave me loads of experience. The first standard was is that I was on the building leadership team. We created a strategic plan, and through that strategic plan, we helped align our mission and vision statement to where we want our district to go in the future, and our building to go in the future. Um, in the 2022 December area, I created a professional development on creating professional norms for our staff at our building. Doing that professional development really helped set the stage for the future of our building, and it also helped us understand what professional norms are and why we should follow them. Standard 3, in my personal classroom, I create a I create a diversity pledge. That diversity pledge allows for all students to feel a part. And as a building leader in the future, I hope that my staff also creates a diversity pledge. As a excuse me, as a kindergarten teacher, I was part of the ELA adoption initiative. Kindergarten through fifth grade last year adopted a new curriculum. And so I was part of picking that curriculum out of different other curriculums that were available. As a kindergarten teacher, I use Mastery Connect and Skyward to evaluate, analyze, and monitor our school curriculum as well as our instructional practices. I discussed with our counselor the different community resources that are available to families, as well as community resources that are available to educators. I created a presentation, and then I sent that out to staff. It is important for staff to understand what resources are available, so then that way they can utilize those resources in their classroom as well as for their families that are struggling. I was the Salinas NEA building representative. As the building representative, I advocated for school and community needs for students. I was on the building schedule team. Being part of the building schedule team meant balancing instructional times and learning how a principal creates a building schedule. And I was on the hiring committee. Being a part of the hiring committee means looking at different school applicants and deciding, is that applicant best for our school? All of these elementary activities gave me a real insight of the overall job of a building principal, as well as it gave me professional development that I will use in the future. Whether I am a building principal or not, I gained so much knowledge about our school system and about our elementary building. At the secondary level, I was tasked with discussing improvement practices that they have with a principal. And then I created a reflection of, if I was ever a secondary principal, how would I improve upon the improvement practices that are in place? At the secondary level, I also created ethical dimension charts. In the secondary level, they have sports, they have all different activities, and how do you ensure that ethics are part of those things? And these charts really helped me understand those ethical decisions. I discussed with secondary special education educators the challenges that they are facing. And then I created a professional development of one of those challenges and sent it out to staff about person first language to improve inclusion for all. I then also discussed at I created a document of evidence-based instructional practices for secondary buildings. Secondary buildings really dive into that curriculum. They're really immersed in that one subject, and they're really teaching students an overall perspective of that subject. And so I thought it was really important that they use evidence-based practices. And I used secondary building level data to create a demographic report that includes gender, ethnicity, attendance rates, and graduation rates of USD 305 secondary buildings. I created a presentation of tort liability. At the secondary level, they have much more tort liability instances due to sports and due to activities and different things. And so I think it's important for all educators, but especially secondary educators, to understand the legal practices of tort liability. Then I discussed with a secondary principal the different how they give actionable feedback to their staff, and then created a flyer about actionable feedback so that way staff is aware of what it is. I gained so much insight doing these secondary secondary presentation or doing these secondary activities about what principals do in the secondary building. Before this e-portfolio and before this practicum, I really didn't have a lot of hands-on experience with secondary buildings as a kindergarten teacher. I had a lot of experience in elementary buildings, but through these secondary activities, I truly gained more insight and knowledge of secondary buildings. Here is my administration verification document. I got my NEA building rep or build our president to sign, as well as my building principal. And here is my program reflection. I think going through this program changed my trajectory as a future educational leader. I also believe it's changed my um, insight to education as a whole. It helped me understand different aspects that I never was aware of without taking the courses that I did in this master's degree. In the future, I cannot wait to apply the information that I've learned. And I just want to thank you for this opportunity to grow as an educator. And I hope in the future I am able to apply this as a building leader. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you for helping me grow and become better.